Welcome to tonight's company call. All right, I'm going to spare you the singing. So tonight, by popular request, well, actually it wasn't that popular, only a few people, but managers, I threw it out there on the manager page and I said, hey, what do you guys want me to teach on Sunday? And a couple people said recruiting. So I thought, okay. And if you didn't suggest recruiting, but you did put a suggestion on that manager page, I will put it into the rotation. So thank you for participating in that. If you guys ever have things that you want me to train on for your team or for your unit, just let me know. I'm happy to do whatever. And honestly, guys, I really appreciate it when you guys dig in and let me know what you want, because I feel like I'm training the same thing all the time, which is basically sell bulls and recruit people to sell bulls. So if you guys tell me what I haven't done in a while or what you could use, that's always super duper duper helpful for me, because then I can do what you guys want, because I'm just here to be your slave. All right, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about recruiting. So I should have used the polls. Do I have to do those ahead of time, Travis, or can I do it like right now? I've never done that.
No, you gotta do them ahead of time.
Oh, sad panda. Okay, so let me ask you just by show of hands. So raise your hands in the little hand thing. If you consider yourself 100% comfortable with recruiting. So if you are comfortable with recruiting, raise your little hand on the Zoom. Wait, hold on.
I don't see any hands. I see Heather. Heather raised her hand.
Oh, see, somebody can do it. Okay.
100% comfortable.
Heather is 100% comfortable recruiting. That is awesome. So maybe you should teach this class, Heather. You want to teach? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that.
Well, no, thank you. Not now. Maybe another day.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, a different day. Okay.
Don't know how to raise my hand.
Sandy, you would say you're 100% comfortable recruiting? All right. Just Sandy and Heather? All right. So good thing we picked this topic then, because that's not enough for you guys. I'm just going to be honest. Let me play this. I have way too much going on my computer right now. Okay, so the reason that we do focus on recruiting so much is because no matter what you're experiencing in your Tupperware business, recruiting is either going to sustain and keep what you've got good going on in your business going, or if you have some things that aren't so good in your Tupperware business, they're going to help pull you out of that. And so something you might hear me say is when you guys are doing your one-on-ones and you're saying this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong, my answer a lot of times is go recruit your way out of that, because recruiting really is the answer no matter what your Tupperware woe is. Can you guys all see my screen? Okay, cool. So a term we say in Tupperware is RETA. So RETA stands for recruiting is the answer. And why is recruiting the answer? Because it really builds momentum and energy in your unit or team. It builds your income and it maximizes your Tupperware discount. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Sorry, I got to move some stuff on my screen. I have way too much. Adulting is hard sometimes, you guys. I'm just telling you. Okay, many hands make for light work. The more recruits you have in your bucket or the more team members you have, the easier sales challenges will become. Adding team members adds bookings to your date book. Did you know that? So if you're sitting with an empty date book and you have recruiting skills in your pocket or in your toolkit, you're not out of business. You just got to get to work, right? And our business opportunity really is the only offer in the catalog that can change someone's life. So it doesn't matter how much of a discount Tupperware is offering on our bowls or whatever they're offering in our brochure. So like right now it's BOGO, that's bowls, as you guys know. That's not really going to change someone's life, right? At the end of the day, it might bring back memories. It might help them get together as a family and maybe support some of those family gatherings. But it's not really going to change their life. Where if you teach somebody how to work this business and eliminate consumer debt, or take their family on vacations, or eliminate their car payment by replacing it with a Tupperware car. When you do those things, that's life-changing for people. That's something that their kids will talk about later as they grow up. It's something that their kids' will talk about. Oh yeah, my grandma was a Tupperware lady. You guys ever hear that? So that it really is changing the family tree when you are recruiting in your business. And you might be thinking, but I'm just here for the discount. Well, that's okay, discount girls, because there is no better discount than what Tupperware offers to recruiters. So right now, for example, signing 3 people up, you would earn a coupon to take 3 of our pressure cookers for just $30 each. Those retail for $149 each. That's 80% off of retail. There is no better offer, not even our sampling, that is that deep of a discount. So if you are just here for the discount, like I was, there's no better thing to do for your business, and no better way to maximize that discount than to take advantage of all of the Say Yes offers each month. Now, if you are truly just here for the discount, you're probably not on this call. So recruiters, you want to hear that and convey that message to your discount people that there is no deeper discount than for them to sign people up. And if you don't want to be a leader, nobody has to. You can add as many members as you'd like to maximize that. Right now it's the pressure cooker. So to maximize the Say Yes offers, you can add 3 people, maximize those. And it's unlikely that somebody who truly is just here for the discount is going to ever qualify for leadership, because our leaderships have to maintain a monthly 3 active personal recruits, $500 in personal sales, and $2,500 in unit sales. And I love Tupperware as much as the next girl, but buying Tupperware at a discount and maintaining $500 a month, that's like a lot of Tupperware and way more than they probably need for their kitchen. And so if they do want that much Tupperware in their kitchen, they should probably just go out and sell a couple things and, use that money, because spending that amount of money every month is just silly beans, right? So those people who really are just in it for the discount, they can do that recruiting piece of it and not feel any obligation to ever step to leadership, because they're not going to be able to maintain that $500 a month in personal sales. The top 10 reasons that people say yes to Tupperware. Now, I thought this was really interesting, and I actually pulled this from the Tupperware Business Leader Back Office section. And so let me know in the chat if you guys think some of these things are unusual. Yeah, good question, Travis. Yeah, I don't have any moves either, Jamie Sloan. Nice try. Okay, so Travis said, if anybody wants to guess the number 1 reason, and we will build up to it. So if you think you know it, also who drew on the screen, you guys know I struggle with that. Clear all drawing. Okay. Okay, top 10 reasons people say yes to Tupperware. Number 10, income control. They feel like they have control over their income because they can go hold a party and make money, right? Number 9, they feel led to fundraise for other people. So fundraising is a reason that people will say yes. So you want to make sure that in your Tupperware parties, you're at least mentioning our fundraiser program, because that actually is a recruiting bid built into your parties. Because when if people have it on their heart to do fundraising for organizations, that might be something that entices them to join your team. Number 8 would be online party options. So people who want to join and do Facebook parties or Tupper Connect parties, those kind of things. So that's the number 8 reason.
Stop on that one for just a second, because here's what I think's interesting about that. So many times I hear people that say, oh, so-and-so signed up, but they just want to do online parties. And I think that's fascinating. It's like they signed up, and yet it's not even in the top 5, right? But that's something that they oftentimes tell us is, I just want to do online parties, when in reality, they may have signed up for more than one reason. So that's something to keep in mind here is, yes, they may want to do online parties, but there may be 2 or 3 other reasons on this list. So don't just cast them to the side and say, that's just an online party person. Boo. We're complex. We're humans. We have more than just one reason why we do things.
Number 7 is recognition. And I know we talked about recognition last week. It is important to people. And to me, recognition isn't always someone joins, but oftentimes it's a reason that people stay. So they may not realize how much recognition and what that feels like to even go up on stage and accept compliments in that way, because they've never experienced that in their entire life. But so that, to me, recognition is probably ranked a little lower than if they were to ask the question, why do you stay? I would guess recognition will move up from number 7. But people say number 7 reason is they are attracted to the recognition piece of it. Number 6, they feel they can do parties in their own style. So they can do them in drag if they want to. They can do them as a theme. They can do them, like I had somebody join who wanted to do all throwback parties. So she wanted to wear like 50s dresses and do all throwback. So you can do it your own way. You can have your own system for that. Some people do auction parties. Some people do, all kinds of different things. So they can do parties their own style. And that attracts them to this business because they know that they can make it their own. Flexible schedule. I was surprised this was actually so low because this is something that Tupperware markets pretty heavily, is that our business allows for a flexible schedule, but that's only the number 5 reason that people join, is because they're attracted to that flexible schedule and wanting to work around their family or another job or whatever it is. So number 5 for flexible schedule. Number 4, sampling program and discount. So when I did my mock party at Manager Workshop, you guys were surprised to see that I advertised the sampling program as part of our monthly specials. So if you're not talking about sampling in your party format, you might want to rethink that, because that's the number 4 reason that people say yes to Tupperware, is because they're interested in joining for the discount, and there's no deeper discount than recruiting, and the second deepest discount is going to be for sampling. Katie said it's a better deal to buy the whole kit than just to buy the one item that they want from the kit. Yeah, so that would probably fall under sampling and discount, Katie. So that discount piece. So that would be number 4. So not quite, girly. You can guess again. Number 3 would be the say yes gift. So right now that would be the pressure cooker. And here's the thing. I think sometimes at our events, like at our Taste of Tupperware events, and even at your party, you're probably highlighting that say yes gift. And so it might feel like people are saying yes for that gift, but oftentimes they truly aren't saying yes for that gift, because at the end of the day, that's just a piece of Tupperware, right? So they might be saying yes for something different, but it's the say yes gift that actually pushes them over. And that's why Tupperware does offer such incredible say yes gifts, is because they know that can be the difference between a yes and a no. Number 2 reason, opportunity for business growth. And I was so surprised that was so high on the list, because I feel like sometimes I perhaps mitigate the business opportunity, and that's something I shouldn't do, but I'm just calling a duck a duck. I think sometimes I don't always do a good job of assuming that everyone is going to make this an actual legit business. Sometimes when I'm talking to people, I'm assuming that they're going to do it alongside of another business, or they're going to do it mostly for the discount. Like I don't always do a great job at my parties of really talking about how this is a business opportunity and it can be something huge. I kind of start small and then I grow into it. And so I thought that was interesting. The number 2 reason is for business growth. So I would be curious to know what you guys think about that. Do you do a great job of explaining how the business can really impact them? And the number 1 reason is because they liked the person who asked them. It's because of the relationship. They're friends with the person who asked them, or at the party, they like the person who asked them. So I will tell you, in my business, I was outside of my friend circle. Yeah, well, no. So I was outside of my friend circle. I hardly ever held parties with my friends, just because my friends were jerks. No, I'm just kidding. But my friends were, if they wanted Tupperware, they would just ask me, right? They didn't really see the value of holding a party. And honestly, I didn't love holding parties with them, because they felt like they were doing me a solid. And I didn't feel like they were doing me a solid. And so they didn't take my host coaching as seriously as I'd want them to, and those kind of things, where when I party outside of my friend circle, they treated it like a business. And so I needed those people outside of my friend circle to keep my business going. So because my recruiting was so high, that tells me that there are things that you can do to instantly build that relationship within your party to keep your recruiting strong, even if you don't know the people. So sometimes when people join this business, they're like, oh man, I can't really recruit anybody because I don't know anybody. Well, honestly, your best recruits are going to come from people that you don't know, because they're going to be looking at the number 2 thing, which I don't know why I had that transition. I thought I pulled all those out, so I apologize for that delay. But look, number 2 is opportunity for business growth. So your friends and family, they're not looking at it they may not be looking at it as a business, but people outside of your friends and family circle, are truly looking at it from an objective perspective, and they are seeing that opportunity for business growth. So if you feel like you don't know a lot of people, so you can't recruit a lot of people, the numbers are telling us that that's actually probably a good thing. You just have to do some things within your party so that they like you. Okay, so we are at the core relationship driven. So you need to build relationships with your people. You can have all of the knowledge and experience in the world, but if you aren't relatable, or if people don't like you for whatever reason, you will struggle with recruiting. So it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, how long you've been in Tupperware, how much product you have, how much product knowledge you have. None of that matters if at the party people don't have that me too moment and feel some sort of connection with you. And it doesn't mean that you have to be exactly like the people in the party, but there just has to be bits and pieces of your story that they can relate to. And so it is a relationship building business. We are professional storytellers, so you want to craft your I story. And I know managers, we spend a lot of time on this at the leadership workshop and a lot of time on this just in general, but it's because it's so very important. It's one of the only, it's how you kick off your parties, and it's the first time that people get to hear a little bit about you. And we crave that, right? How many of you guys get on Facebook and you watch other people's Facebook lives? Not necessarily because you want to see whatever they're talking about on their live, but you just want to creep, right? You want to know what their house looks like. You want to know if their hair is messy. You want to know if their kids are bratty like yours. You want to see what they're cooking. You want to, so we, statistics tell us that people want to creep on each other. They do. So your I story is an opportunity for people to creep on you and get to know you a little bit. So you want to make sure that you've crafted it and you are a professional storyteller when it comes to your I story. And you never want to underestimate the power of the me too. That moment is what can move people in your business, and that's what's going to move people to want to join your team. It doesn't mean that you're in the same position as they are now, but it just means something about you. They're like, oh, she gets it. She gets it. Okay. You want to be confident in the business kit. So how many of you guys love our business kit? How many of you guys feel like it's an opportunity for growth? And it really is a kit that will help others achieve their goals. When you truly feel that way at your core and you believe that the kit is amazing, that confidence becomes contagious. And in that moment, you might need to be someone else's brave. So you might need to be the one that is so confident that this kit can get them where they want to go, whether it's debt-free or supporting their family 100% because they're a single mom, whatever it is, you might need to be brave in that moment and confident enough in your company and your business kit because she might not be feeling that brave. So don't be afraid to be someone else's brave. And then, let's just, okay. He's just talking. Okay, cool. Then you want to focus on what people need in order to make an informed decision about our business. So not necessarily what you think they want and not necessarily what you like in the Tupperware opportunity, but you want to present the information that people actually need in order to make a good decision. So just keep this in mind. Selling is telling, right? When we're selling our products, we're focused on product knowledge, set selling, those kind of things, right? So we're telling the consumer a lot about what our products and our business is about. But recruiting is all about listening. So in order for you to tailor the opportunity to every single person in the room and to have bits and pieces of your story that relate to each person in the room, you have to know a little bit about them. So when your party is first getting started and you're greeting people at the door, you want to ask a ton of questions and really listen. So as your host is saying, hey girl, how have you been? I haven't seen you in forever. How's your little one doing? You want to be like mentally recording all of that because you're going to say, oh man, how old's your little one? And start to build that me too with them. Even if they say, like, I've had kids say, oh, 3 months old. I'll just say, oh my gosh, I love that age. Mine are quite a bit older now. They're 9 and 13, but oh, I would love to go back to that 3-month-old snuggly baby. And you're creating that me too, even though you're not in the same season anymore. So spend a lot of time at the front of your party when the doors open but the party's not started, doing that listening, because that's all part of your recruiting plan. That way when you actually start talking, you can be reflecting what they were saying in those conversations, and that builds that me too.
I think that part of the Me Too, I think sometimes this gets inverted a little bit, where when we're talking to somebody for the first time, we're trying to find a piece of ourself, or I'm sorry, a piece of them that relates to us as the person who's initiating the conversation. And I think what you want to do is find it both ways. So it's not just finding something that they're telling you that you can identify with. It's also sharing, once they've identified that, something that's part of you with them. It really helps to lower those barriers in communication, where the Me Too goes both ways. So it's one thing to just say, oh, yes, I had kids too, and so we have that connection. It's like, well, that's a pretty shallow connection. A lot of people have kids. And so it's difficult if you're not listening and getting details and pulling those details out to get something that's just beyond surface level. I think, and this is going to, at risk of sounding sexist, I think men oftentimes have that difficulty of getting to that next level in those relationships, where it's like, how's the weather? Oh, yeah. How about the Portland Trailblazers? Oh, yeah. Hey, wives are crazy, right? Yeah, wives are crazy. And that's about as far as they go. And I think when you're trying to build relationships like this, you want to look for those details, and you can't get those details if your mouth is open. I mean, that's the reality.
Yep. And I think sometimes where that comes from is you guys are so excited because you do in your heart of hearts believe that Tupperware is fantastic and you want to tell them everything that's amazing about Tupperware. But just remember to focus on the 4 most common questions. And you guys have heard me talk about the 4 most common questions before, but I'm going to review them. Not in complete detail, but just a summary of them. So people need to know the following 4 things. How much time does it take? So how much, and if you don't know, Carrie, I didn't know if you were on. I love you, girl. So people want to know, how much time does it take? So how much time does it take in your Tupperware business? The canned answer to that, if you don't know, is our most successful consultants spend about 10 hours a week to earn about $1,400 a month. So that is the answer. You should be saying that in your party. So when you're doing your demonstration, whether you're doing a Q&A about recruiting, or whether you're staying after and talking to people in the 5-star host part of it, however you have it set up, or maybe it's woven into the conversation, but you want to cover the fact that people who are most successful consultants spend about 10 hours a week to earn $1,400 a month. And hopefully you guys know that that 10 hours a week is spent holding 2 average size parties, and then attending training and other things like Taste of Tupperware, personal training, that kind of stuff. And so that's how we get to the 10 hours a week. And if they're holding 2 standard parties per week, then they are eligible for the volume bonus. So right now that means that they, in addition to the $1,000 in commission they would make an extra $1,400 or $400, bringing them to the $1,400. So that's how that math works on that. So anyway, the word choices are our most successful consultants. Now, I'm not saying that every consultant does that. I'm saying our most successful consultants spend about 10 hours a week and they earn about $1,400 a month. And then I always follow that up with, now, if you need more or less in your budget, all you would do is either add parties or work less hours, whatever is going to work better for you and your family. So I'm general about that. I don't get specifics until they join and I go through new consultant orientation with them, or if they want to talk about it before they join, they can ask me more questions about it. But I just kind of use that as a general, and it gives them a gauge. They don't know if we make $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. They don't know if we're one of those companies that's online, like we make $200,000 a month, all those companies that give direct sales, I think, a bad name. So they have no, most of them have no concept of how much, a clue on how much we make. So you just want to give them a ballpark. Our most successful consultants spend 10 hours a week to earn about $1,400 a month. The next question that people need to know the answer to is, how much money can I make? And I always say, well, just like anything in life, this is your own business. So you will, how much you make will be a direct reflection of what you put into it. But our consultants start at 25% commission on everything they sell, and that includes sale items. And that's important to say because not all direct sales companies are set up that way. So you want to make sure that you clarify whether it's on sale or full price, it's 25% commission. And then I say, and each consultant has an opportunity to earn up to an additional 10% each month. And then we have some programs like our sampling program where they can purchase product at a pretty significantly reduced price, and then they can sell it for 100% retail, netting them about 65% profit when they take advantage of that. So it really just depends on how they want to set up their business. But at parties, we make between 25 and 35%. We start with 25 and then we can volume bonus up to 35. How much does it cost to get started? Obviously, guys, it's, and some word choices that we've been working with as a steering team and kind of molding that we've had some success with is we tell people it costs $99 to get started. That includes your consulting kit, which is valued at a little over $350. However, when you set up your grand opening party today, I can actually offer you a flex pay option where you pay just $39 to get started. We'll hold your open house. I'll bring your kit to your open house. And then as long as you submit a total of $1,000 over the next 60 days, you won't owe anything else to Tupperware. If for whatever reason you choose not to do that, then there would be an additional payment of $60 due in 60 days. So you want to make sure that you have, again, we're storytellers. You want to make sure that you're not fumbling over that money part, that you sound confident in it. And basically I've told them you set up an open house and you can do flex pay. No open house, no flex pay, right? And so even though so just so that you guys know, Tupperware doesn't say that anywhere, but Tupperware doesn't offer flex pay. That's a consultant offer that we can make. So if they just go to Tupperware.com, they are charged the full $99 to sign up. So also know that if you are a consultant who does flex pay, you offer that to your people and you have people defaulting on it and not making their second payment and not submitting their $1,000, they will take away your flex pay. So that's why as a steering team, we've kind of massaged that a little bit and said, what's a good way to word that so that people understand we're holding that open house in order to get them launched. And if they don't want to hold the open house, that's fine, but they need to pay $99. And then that also launches your mindset because you know, okay, if someone's willing to pay the $99 for the kit because they don't want to hold an open house, they're probably not going to do a whole lot with their business, right? Like they're willing to pay to just buy the kit basically. So those are the word choices that I've been using and I've had success with lately. So hopefully that helps you. The fourth question that people ask is, how soon can I start earning money? How soon? Like, because in some companies, they have to spend the money to buy inventory and then they have to wait to get paid back for when they sell the inventory to a customer. So that's one business model. Sometimes companies like 31, you actually get a paycheck from 31. So you place the orders, you pay full retail, and then they pay you a paycheck. So you just have to clarify, in Tupperware, you can get paid right away. You could get started in making money right away. And I think that's a huge benefit in Tupperware, especially if you have people who are considering joining who maybe could use a little boost in their finances like this week. You can show them how to make money this week. So I just say you can start earning money right away in Tupperware. And how that works is anybody who pays you cash or check, they're going to pay you retail. And when you go to place the order with Tupperware, you're going to pay wholesale. So that remaining 25% is yours to keep. So you keep that right off the bat. And then if you are due anything like a volume bonus, like I mentioned before, then that would be cut to you from Tupperware once a month. All right, any questions on that? I know that was like a lot of word choices, but that part is super important because you do want to cover all four of those things when you're talking about it at your party. And you want to make sure that you have the word choices nailed down for that so you don't sound like you're fumbling all over the place. Because if you don't sound confident in that, they're not going to feel confident about their decision to say yes. All right, you guys are quiet. So I'm assuming we're okay to go on. Okay. So the next piece of recruiting is to plant, water, and harvest. And what do I mean by that? Relationships take time, but they really are an investment that will sustain the long-term business. So if you're doing a good job of planting seeds at your party and talking about recruiting, not everybody's going to say yes that night. So just know that. But if you follow up with them and you answer questions for them and you give them time to process and talk to their loved ones, maybe talk to some friends and see if they would be interested in buying from them. If you are watering that, then the harvest will come. So you want to make sure that you're not just planting seeds and then letting them die on the vine. Like you really have to go back and nurture those relationships in order for that to really take off. So you want to have good systems in place, and so that you can continue to funnel people through that process. Sorry. Just checking chat. Okay, so you want to have good systems in place so that people can be effectively funneled. And we've talked lots and lots about funneling. If you don't know what funneling is for your business, talk to your director or your manager about that. And then you want to review and refunnel as your business changes. So that's something that we don't talk a lot about. So basically, the concept for funneling is you want everyone to go through your funnel and you decide exactly where they get placed into your business, whether it's a team member, whether it's a happy hostess, or whether it's placing an order. So it should look like a funnel, and then most people that you talk to are going to join your team, and then some people are going to be happy hostesses, and then the smallest amount of people are going to place an order with you. So that's what you want a healthy funnel to look like. But there are times where we funnel them into a certain spot, and then life changes and things happen. Maybe they have a baby, or maybe they get a divorce, or maybe, just things happen. And it's our job to know that those things are happening and to refunnel them to where they might need to be. But the only way that you're going to know what's happening in their life is if you continue to be a part of their life. So once you funneled them, that doesn't mean that you just forget them forever. They have actually been funneled in place somewhere, but it's your job to know what's going on in their life so that you can refunnel as much as you need to support them and where they should be. And you guys have all heard the story about Minta. She told me no for 4 freaking years. And then when she finally said yes, she said yes in January, became a director in March. So the timing was right for her. But had I not refunneled her over and 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 over again, I never would have had her as a director in my company. So make sure that you're taking the time to really be a part of these people's lives so you know when it's time to refunnel.
Well, and I think it's also one of those things where when we make decisions like this, when we decide we're going to start our own business, or we have something happen in our life where we have a need, and we didn't have that need before, but now we have that need. Husband lost a job, or medical bills got out of control. The time that we have to fulfill that need is brief, right? It's not as though this is on fire and I'm just going to keep letting it burn until Tupperware person gets around to calling me. Maybe she'll call in another 6 weeks. I'm going to do something to put that fire out. Maybe I'm going to go get a second job. Maybe I'm going to borrow money from somebody. Maybe I'm going to let my credit get destroyed, whatever it is. And so if you're only reaching out and refunneling people once a month, once every 6 weeks, once every 2 months, then you're going to miss those opportunities. They're going to put that fire out with something else. You've missed that opportunity to engage with them and start a relationship with them and help them change their life, because you're only touching base with them once every 2 months, or you're touching base once a month via TW Trends. TW Trends is not refunneling. TW Trends is not making contact. TW Trends is the newspaper circular of communication. That's what it is. And so, when I think Angie talks about this refunneling, we have to sort of make sure everybody understands exactly what that is. That is a phone call. That is a you directly emailing. Maybe it's a few text messages or something, but it's not a broadcast message.
Agreed. All right, so where do you get started? Because obviously you guys understand the importance of recruiting. You understand a little bit about where your heart needs to be and where your focus needs to be to become a recruiter. So I recommend that you start with your dirt list. If you haven't created a dirt list, I recommend that you make one and you update it. So what's a dirt list? A dirt list is a list of people who love you so much that if you were selling dirt, they would be the first in line buying from you. So these are people, you know, you got to bury a body, they're showing up with a shovel. Okay. So you want to make a list of those people. You should aim for about 10 people, but you know, some are going to have less and some are going to have more depending on your personality style. So my personality style, very few people are on my dirt list, but they are on my dirt list, right? Like they will take a bullet for me. And so you may have some other personality styles who they think 500 people are on their dirt list. And so whatever it is that you believe is your dirt list is who you want to make a list for. And that, you know, perfect, Janet. See, that's why Janet's on my dirt list. No, I'm just kidding. So then you want to sit down with each person on your dirt list or message each person on your dirt list. And really ask them to participate in a call with your director or business leader, which is me or Travis, to help grow your business. Probably me on this. I don't know how Travis would feel about that. So you just want to set up a timed three-way call with your director or business leader, and that person is just going to review the 4 most common questions asked. And why is that so important for your business? It really is just an opportunity for you to hear that person reviewing some of the basics and then overcoming objections. And they're doing it with people that you love. There's no obligation for them to say yes. It really is just a role-playing activity for you to get as much as you can out of your training time. Because I can tell you how to do it, but to see me recruit is different than how I tell you how to recruit, right? So I can only tell you so much. That's why leaders at Leadership Workshop, we hammered on it so much. You have to be inviting people to every party that you hold from your downline, because seeing it is different than training on it, right? And your office is your home party. So get people to your home parties, and you won't have to have an office or team meeting, you know, regularly, because everybody will be coming to your parties. You want to aim for 10 phone calls to help you get started. And so obviously, like I said, some will have more, some will have less, but that's just what you want to aim for. And then these calls are designed to help you grow your business. So while that person may recruit the person who's on the call, and honestly, I usually recruit about 85 to 90% of the people, but it's just because the Tupperware opportunity is good. It's not like something magical is happening. The Tupperware opportunity is really good. And when you present it in a pointed way like that, people say yes. So the ultimate goal is for you to hear the word choices that she uses and listen closely and take notes. Okay, so that's how you do the three-way calls. And you want to start out by using your dirt list people for that. Why? Because dirt list people are nice and they will probably say yes to you, right? Maybe not yes to the opportunity, but they'll say yes to getting on the three-way call with your people. Then the next list that you want to make is called your chicken list. And these are people that give you a little bit of diarrhea when you think about making a phone call with them. You want to make your chicken list, and then you're going to burn through it. So a chicken list is a list of people you're scared to call for whatever reason. You know, I have to work the word poop or diarrhea in every conversation. Okay. So your chicken list is people that you're scared to call for whatever reason. Perhaps they were not so nice when you joined your business. Maybe they said something rude, or maybe they gave you a look, or maybe they said, oh, I don't do those things, or, oh, great, another friend is selling something. Whatever it was, whatever negative connotation they gave off to you, if there's still somebody that you're speaking to, then these people will go on your chicken list. And just remember that it's none of your business what they think, but it is your business what they will or will not do. So it's your responsibility to funnel them into the right role. And it doesn't matter what they're thinking as they get there, because that's none of your business what other people think. The only way to get over the people on your chicken list is to get them out of your funnel. So if you have people that are making you not feel so great when you think about making phone calls, you got to put them somewhere. So get them out of that funnel and where the category that they need to be in. And here's the craziest part, guys. So work with your director or business leader, and she's going to help you come up with a way to burn through that chicken list. But often we discover that the people we have on our chicken list really had no business being on our chicken list. It was in our head all along. And so once we funnel them into a group that they're supposed to be in, they're no longer on our chicken list. They're just another customer or another hostess or another person on your team. So use your director or business leader to help you get those people out of your funnel, because they're just stuck there right now. If you're feeling anxious about calling them, they're stuck in your funnel. So you need to get them out of your funnel and where they should belong. The next list you're going to make is your Wonderful 100 list. And you guys have heard a lot about this from Tupperware directly. This is part of your new consultant kit. And it includes making a frank list. And your frank list stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and kids connections. So that would be like teachers, coaches, kids, other kids' parents, that kind of stuff. So that's what Frank stands for. It's an acronym. It's in your Getting Started guide. If you're new, it's part of your new consultant kit. But this list should be constantly updated. Your Wonderful 100 list really should be a living, breathing document. And as you funnel people out of your 100 list into, let's say, your team, they come off of your Wonderful 100 list, and you need to be meeting enough people to backfill that Wonderful 100 list. That's why it's important to go friend finding, or even if you don't have time to dedicate to friend finding, just be a social butterfly like Stacy Delapierre. Is she on? That woman can talk to anybody no matter where we go. If she's at a grocery store or a restaurant, she's talking to them about Tupperware, she's getting to know them. And so you want to be like that. Even if that's not your personality style, like that is not my personality style, but I will do that for my business because I love my business and I love what my business brings to my family enough to do it. So when I'm standing in line at Target or picking up prescriptions at King Soopers or whatever I'm doing, you can strike up a conversation with someone near you and just say, hey, I don't know if you've seen Tupperware lately, but I would love to drop you a catalog. Here's a little brochure.
Didn't we have like an awesome online example? Somebody told a story. Was it Lori?
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Well, the story about somebody where she said, you know, she goes to the grocery store. And yeah. What was that one?
It was. Let me see if I can pull it. It's on our Facebook page. Yeah, basically, she was just talking about
I'll find it.
It was on the regional page. It was on the regional page.
Gotcha.
So somebody had asked her, she wanted a tablecloth from Nary Vet, and someone from our company asked her, I want you to teach me your magic ways. And she said, it's no magic. Everybody loves Tupperware. You just have to open your mouth and tell them that you do it. And then she said, when I'm standing in line, I do this. I have brochures everywhere I go. And I just really make a point to get out there and tell people that I do Tupperware. And then she went on to say, for example, I was at a kid's birthday party and I gave them the kids' baking set. And she said, and that was 12 moms that were standing there. And as soon as that little girl opened that baking set, the 3-year-old little girl opened the baking set, they were all like, that's so cute. Where did you find that? And she said, right there, 12 new contacts. Oh, well, I sell Tupperware. Let me show you. And so it really, if it's part of your life, and that's what she was saying, is if you just make it part of your life, then it starts to get easier and easier and easier. And you don't feel like you have to dedicate a bunch of time to going and meeting new people, because there are new people everywhere that you go. If you go eat at McDonald's, there's new people sitting around you, right? If you go rent a movie, do people still do that? Or is everything streaming? If you go rent Redbox, we were at Redbox because we're cheap. But if you go, like everywhere you go, there's new people around you. So just make it a habit to incorporate that into your life. Okay. So back to the Frank list. You want to make that Frank list and have it constantly be updating by all these new people that you're meeting. And you want to aim for 100 to start. And just think about this. You might go 100. Oh my gosh, Angie, that gives me diarrhea. There we go. Another thing. The average adult American knows 632 people. So aiming for a minimum of 100 it might sound scary, but just keep in mind that this is a brainstorm. It's not necessarily like you may not have contact information for all of these people. And at the end of the day, some of these people may not have any interest in Tupperware whatsoever, but it really is just a brainstorming list. So some of your acquaintances might look like, oh, that girl who's always at the bank with the big nose, or that girl who serves me at the coffee shop. Like you might not even know their names on the acquaintances list. And some of the people that you have listed in the other categories, those might be people that you don't have complete contact information for. Maybe you just have email addresses or phone numbers, but just aim for 100. Piece it together and get 100. And then from that list, you want to circle 10 people on your list that you would like to have as part of your team. And then you're going to start with our, and I put 3-step, but it's actually 5-step when I counted it up. So I'm sorry. You're going to start with our recruiting process with these 10 people. So what are those steps? Any questions before I go into the steps? I know it's a lot of information, but recruiting is kind of a layered thing that you have to do. It's that relationship part. It's hard to teach you guys to build those relationships. Okay, so the first thing you want to do with recruiting, once you have that name or those list of 10 people, is you're going to write down those names on a list. So if I were going to show you on a piece of paper, I'll show you what it looks like on the camera. So I would write down, like, here's some pretty artwork that I made on my last call. Okay, so I would write down like Travis, Heather, I don't know who else is on. Carrie. Okay, so I'll just write down those 3. All right. I can't see the camera. I don't know if you guys can see me. Can you see that? Why can't I see myself? Oh man, I told you adulting is hard. Okay. So you're just going to write down the list like this, the people from your Frank list, the 10 people that you circled. So you would just write Travis, Heather, Carrie down the piece of paper. Okay. All 10 of them. Then next to their name, you're going to write down why you want them on your team. So, and I think this works best if you just use words, not like a whole paragraph, just like funny or outgoing or, so I'm going to say, okay. So then I just wrote down on here, I don't know why it takes me a while to find myself. Okay. So I just wrote, Travis is crazy fun, Heather is organized, and Carrie is fantastic, right? So I wrote that down there. So I just wrote little descriptive words next to each person on what I like about them and why I want them on my team. And then next to that, so the next column over, I want to write what Tupperware is going to do for them. So why, not only do I want them, but why do they want Tupperware, right? So I'm writing that next to that. So I'm going to say extra money. For Heather, I'm going to say girls' night out. And I'm totally just making this up. And then for Carrie, I'm going to say new friends. I don't know. I just made that up. Okay. So I would then write that in the third column. Whoops. Okay. So you just want it to look like that. Travis, what you like about him, what Tupperware could do for him. Okay. So you're going to do that for all 10 of your people. Then, this is the hard part. Just kidding, it's not hard. Then you're going to pick up the 1,000-pound phone. I don't know if you guys know this, but this isn't just a computer or a way to text. You can actually make phone calls on this. So let me show you that feature. You just go right in here, unlock the phone. That's the hard part, okay? So then, if you press the little phone button, I don't know how to, okay, so if you press the little phone button, you can actually make phone calls. See, like, look, it's a keypad. You can make phone calls. Okay. So you're going to go through and you're going to make phone calls. Now, why is that important?
Wait. Can you do that again? Can you show me again how I use my pocket computer? This is my Angry Birds machine.
Yes.
Right.
So
is that what you're talking about? Use my Words with Friends machine can make phone calls.
So you guys might not know, my kids actually asked why that telephone icon looks like that. Because they've never seen a telephone that looks like that. They've only seen telephones that look like this. Okay, so they didn't even know why that phone icon is that shape. Just saying, that's the world we live in. Okay, so you're going to actually pick up the phone and call because they need to hear your voice when you're telling them how amazing you think they are. Because here's the thing, guys, this world doesn't have enough of that. So when you find something that this world needs, you do more of it, right? So this world needs more people telling them why they think they're amazing. And so if I were to call up Travis and I would just say, and so you're going to tell them why you think they're amazing, then you're going to tell them what Tupperware is going to offer them, and then you're going to zip your lip and let them talk. So if I were doing this, I'm going to do it to Heather instead of Travis.
Hold on a second. I just wanted to say something real quick. Hey, Janelle, I think you're amazing. So let me tell you, when you read that in the chat, how did that feel compared to when I actually said it out loud and you heard the tone in my voice when I said, Janelle, you were amazing. At last Spring Fest, I sat there and watched you do your training, or that was, I guess, Fall Fest. You were incredible. That was amazing.
Well, it's very different. It's very different. It makes you feel great.
Right? Doesn't that make you feel good, guys? So
Made
that's
me feel
why.
great then, made me feel great now. Thank you, Travis.
And he means it. That's the thing. And that's the thing too. These compliments can't be shallow. They have to be legit. So if you can meet in person, that's even better, right? But if you can't meet him in person, at least pick up the phone and you're going to say, Heather, you know what? I've been thinking about you so much. Just because I would love to have you on my Tupperware team at some point. If now's not the right time, that's cool. But I just think the organization that you could bring to my team would be something that I would appreciate so much. It would help keep me in line. It would be a blessing to those who are already on my team. And also, the thing is, too, I think Tupperware could really help you because it would get you out of your shell a little bit. It would help you have something to look forward to. It would help get you out of the house. And so let me just ask you, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And then you shut your trap and you wait and you see what they say. Because at that point, we get a little nervous and we start to blah, 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 right? And that, again, selling is telling, recruiting is listening. So you have to shut your trap and listen to what she has to say. So Heather, can you come off mute and tell me what you'd say if I actually said that to you?
Sorry, my dogs are barking. Say it again.
So Heather, I'm not going to say it exactly the same. So Heather,
It's
I just
okay.
think that you are so unbelievably organized, and I would love for you to consider joining my team. And if now's not the perfect time, that's okay. We can talk about that. But I just think because your organization would mean so much to the girls that are already on my team, but I also think that you could really use some girls' night out, and I know that you would love everybody who's already on my team. So have you ever thought about doing what I do, Heather?
I would probably consider it, actually.
Okay. So what questions can I answer for you so that you have all the information that you need as you're considering it?
Thank goodness I took notes earlier. Sorry if my dog's barking. How much time does it take?
Okay, so Heather's probably not going to ask those specific questions. She's probably going to ask me how much it costs, honestly. Well, what does that look like? How much does it cost? What do I have to do? She's going to, and we're good friends, right? Or at least I know her enough to pay her a compliment. And okay, so Heather, let's have you tell me no.
Well, that's easy enough. Honestly, right now is not a good time. Well, sorry, I'm not interested.
Okay, no problem, Heather. You know what, girl? Just so that you know, I adore everything about you, and I wasn't kidding. I meant it when I said it, that your organization skills are something that keeps me in awe. So would you keep this in mind if things ever change in your life and you need something, will you please think of me first? Because I would love to have you on my team at some point.
Of course I will. And then you'll know I really don't have organization skills.
Okay. And then, Heather, just one more question. Do you care if I just check in with you every once in a while when I'm thinking about you to see if anything has changed?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. And then I just talk about something else, right? Because Heather's my friend and I'm throwing it out there and I'm planting that seed. And if she jumps on it, great. If she doesn't jump on it, then I'm moving on and I'm planting that seed. And then I'm going to check in with Heather before too much time passes. I'm probably going to check in with Heather within the next 24 to 48 hours. And I'm going to say, girl, still thinking about you. Is your answer still no? And she's going to, I can't tell you how many recruits I've gotten at that point and said, you know what? After we talked, I talked to my husband and now I'm kind of thinking about it. And if the answer is no, the answer is no. Like I said, Minta told me no for 4 years. So if the answer is no, the answer is no, but then you need to make sure that you are following up and don't make it timed, but put something else and work appointment to appointment. So put something in your calendar to follow up with Heather. And then a couple weeks down the road, say, Heather, I'm still thinking of you. Heather, the Say Yes gift changed and I know it's something that you want. Are you sure? You can't teach my team how to be more organized with your amazing, awesome sauce. And so keep it personal, but keep following up with her and keep following up with her. And I promise you'll get a lot of yeses that way. And then don't forget, our job is to offer everyone the gum, which means if you're sitting in a car and you offer you have gum in your purse, you're going to turn around and offer it to your passenger seat person. And whether they say yes or no, we still offer it to everyone in the back, right? So Travis, do you want a piece of gum? Yes or no? No. Janelle, do you want a piece of gum? Yes or no? No. Heather, do you want a piece of gum? Yes or no? She might say yes. But just because Travis told me no doesn't mean I'm not going to offer any gum to anybody else, right? I'm not going to put it back in my purse and be like, oh, nobody wants my gum. Life sucks. My gum must suck. I suck, right? I'm not going to do that. Just because Travis said no to my gum, Janelle might want gum, okay? You have to think about the opportunity that way too. Just because he says no doesn't mean that Janelle doesn't want it for her and her life, all right? And her stinky breath, okay? All right, so just keep in mind that there is some math at play in Tupperware. Like I've told you guys before, you can achieve any title you want in Tupperware if you do the math right, okay? So growing any small business is a numbers game. As long as you have a product that people desire, which we do, and I'm not talking bulls, I'm actually talking the opportunity, which we do, it really comes down to getting in front of enough people. So in Tupperware, the reason all Salesforce leaders are asked to hold 2 parties per week in their 1-to-1 is because 2 + 2 = 3 in Tupperware. Don't you guys know that? 2 + 2 = 3? So what? So 2 parties per week will net you 2 recruits at each party. So that's your host plus 1 person, because your host is an automatic recruit lead, right? She's opening her home and doing the job basically. So why wouldn't she want to get paid for it? And then she always likes to have a friend tag along, right? Because we're better together. So that gives you 2 recruit leads from every party. That's 4 leads per week. 4 leads per week times 4 weeks that are in a month gives you 16 recruit leads a month. 1 out of 5 say yes. So every month, each manager should be adding 3 new personal recruits to their unit, and that's to their level 1. And then managers should also be working with each consultant's recruit leads to ensure that they are helping consultants who want to move into leadership promote up and stay on their 1-to-1. So a consultant 1-to-1 is to send the recruit leads up to the manager. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be doing the recruiting, but they're forwarding that onto the manager. When all managers are on their 1-to-1, each director will then be on their 1-to-1 as long as they are holding their 2 parties per week. And so that's what creates that explosive recruiting that you guys have heard rumblings about that we did in our company before. That's what creates that, is when all levels are holding those 2 parties per week and working that recruiting math. And it may sound like something that, oh, somebody else can do, but you can't do it. You have the same skills as everyone else. You have it in your toolkit. And I can tell you, in all honesty, I have seen people that recruit 7, 8, 9 people per week by themselves. And so it is possible for you, but you got to put yourself out there. So if you are refusing to hold parties, AKA you're not booking parties to support your party plan business, so at this point you are refusing, what you are doing is you have to think about what are you going to do to make up for those parties and get yourself in front of 40 new people per week so that you can serve your community, right? Because at our parties, we're aiming to have 10 people come. We aim for them to invite 40 people, but let's call a duck a duck. Usually they invite about 20 and we have about 5 join us, right? So if they're inviting 20 people per party, that's putting your name and business in front of 40 people, especially if you're the one sending out the mailers and following up with all of her people to get them there. So that's giving you 40 new contacts per week if you're holding parties. If you're not holding parties, what are you doing to have 40 new contacts per week? Because if you're not doing something to make up for those parties that you're refusing to hold, then how are you serving your community? You're not doing your job. And spamming on your Facebook wall doesn't count. That's not a solution, because those people are already your friends and family. They already know you sell Tupperware, and they will go see what you have to offer. That's not putting you in front of 40 new people every week like it will if you're holding parties. So dream bigger. Imagine what your business would look like if you were recruiting 1 new member per week. What if every time you added a new member, they started adding a new team member per week? If you set that as the standard and you're modeling that behavior, you will bring people on who just do that as a standard and they just think that's how Tupperware works, right? This is possible. It is simply a mindset and a momentum, but it starts with each of you. So you have to make the decision to make that happen. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and then we'll wrap up. So let me ask you, do you believe that Tupperware has been a blessing to you and your family? I would guess, looking at our participants list, that you would nod up and down. So I'm going to turn on the camera so I can see you. Yes or no? Do you believe that Tupperware has been a blessing? And you can give me a thumbs down if you really don't think it's been a blessing. So blessing, yes, nodding, okay. If you are brand new, which some of you are brand new, do you believe that there are possibilities in Tupperware for it to be a blessing to yourself or others? Yes or no? Yes or no? You gotta give me a thumbs down if you're saying no, because I don't know that I'll be able to tell. Okay, cool. Do you consistently share those blessings or dreams with other people? Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Well, Brittany says yes, and her business is growing. So isn't that interesting? So are you sharing those blessings or dreams with others? Do you believe that the people you care most about, so your friends and family, your loved ones, whether your family is blood related or not blood related, but the people that you love and adore the most, do you believe that they deserve all the blessings they can get in the world? Do you believe that? Do you believe that your community has real needs that you can help solve? Do you believe that your community has needs, whether it's income needs, whether it's just connection? I think we live in the most connected digital world that we've ever been a part of, right? That humans have ever been a part of. Yet we have more and more people living lonely lives, right? We are lonelier than we've ever been as a community. That's why, you know, not to get like political, but that's why mental health is such a big issue right now, because we are isolated. We feel very lonely, even though all of us have a community in our phones and on our computers. That's proving that that's not real community, right? So there are real needs in our communities. I believe that, and Tupperware can turn that around. So do you believe and do you understand that you have that within your business? By offering the opportunity, you have the opportunity to cure some of those heartaches that people feel. You have the opportunity to alleviate some of the financial stress that people feel, that obligation to keep up with the Joneses. You guys have that. You have those blessings within you and within your business. And if you're not sharing them, you're being very selfish. So it is your responsibility to get out there and share that with people. Share it like your life depends on it, because what you may not know is that their life depends on it. And that's always how I looked at it, because I'm shy. You guys know I'm shy. And those of you who have seen me get blotchy in certain situations, you know that in my heart of hearts, I'm a shy girl. But I have just always believed that I could be the last one that took a chance on somebody. And if I keep my mouth shut and I don't take that chance, what are they going to turn around and do, right? I feel obligated to open my mouth, throw myself out there, let somebody know I love them, let them know what I want, why I want them in my business. Even if it's a stranger. If you guys have spent time with me in the community, you know, when I'm walking around and talking to people, cashiers, those kind of things, you have gorgeous eyes. Oh my gosh, I love that shirt. I'm very complimentary, and I mean it from my heart. Like, I look for those wins in people, and you have to find that too. You have to be that person, because you don't know who's going to walk away and say, oh my gosh, that was life-changing when she said that to me. So you are being very selfish if you're not sharing that opportunity every single time. All right, so I'm giving you a 24-hour challenge. Your challenge is that every new team member you add over the next 24 hours will earn you a Catalogs on Board vinyl. These are cut from commercial grade vinyl by a professional cutter, not by us. And so you can use these on your car windows. Like, I have one on each side of my car, so you could use it on your car windows. You can throw them on a laptop. You can gift them to people. So every recruit that you put in the next 24 hours, if you were on this call, so I'm going to screenshot who's on this call, or actually I can pull it from the recording. So if you were on this call and you had a recruit in the next 24 hours, you are going to get one of these Catalogs on Board stickers. And you can use them to grow your business, use them for whatever you want if you don't want them on your car. But just make sure that if you put them on your car, you keep catalogs on hand, because I can tell you everywhere I go, I get asked for catalogs. So make sure if you're going to put these on your car, you have to invest in some catalogs. And so you can earn these in the next 24 hours. So I don't know what time it is. We'll call it, you know what, we'll say by midnight tomorrow night. So by midnight tomorrow night, I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. Midnight tomorrow night, every recruit that you have go in the system will earn you a Catalogs on board sticker if you were on this call with me. Another option for them to earn their kit. I don't know what that means, Brandy. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I see it. I had 2 people that want to sign up but don't have the money. Is there an option for them to earn their kit? You know, when someone wants to sign up and they don't have the money, I give them one of our current sets and I tell them to sell X amount of that set to earn the profit. Or I'll set up their grand opening party and I'll let the profit from their grand opening party pay for their kit. So there's lots of different ways to do it. I don't scholarship people. You guys might be surprised to hear that. I really believe in not scholarshiping people. People have to have some skin in the game or else they don't take their business seriously. So I'm pretty anti-scholarshiping people. Tupperware never offers free kits, ever, ever, ever. And they've learned that if they don't have at least some sort of fee, people won't feel any obligation. So I don't think you should scholarship them or feel any obligation to pay that first down payment. I never recommend that. But we have, like right now, we have the BOGO sets or we have the water bottles. Tell them if they sell 10 of those water bottle sets to get it all for the $57, that they will have more than enough profit from that to cover the full price of their kit, the $99, plus put a little scratch in their pocket. So if they could sell 10 of those water bottle sets, and I let them put it on their Facebook and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't care. I'll just give them the artwork. And they can just tell people, and I write them up a little script and they just say, hey, I'm joining Tupperware. They don't have to say, I'm not in the system yet. Nobody knows that. So just say, I'm joining Tupperware. And the first offer that I've been challenged is to do 10 of these sets. So let me know if you would like to get started by supporting my business and grabbing this water bottle set. It's a really good deal, blah, blah, blah. So give them some word choices, but let them start selling something. Let them collect up some orders. If they don't love the water bottles, have them do BOGO bowls. And just let them get started selling. And then they have all those orders and they'll earn not only the Say Yes gift, they'll be on their way to getting their kit paid off and they'll have the activation offer. And it doesn't cost you anything. So do that. All right. Any other questions before I let you guys run, doggies? All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Leaders, if you would like to stay on, I need just a minute to swap my chair out. I'm sitting on my son's computer chair. They took mine and my feet are asleep. So I need to swap my chair out. If you're not a leader, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you learned something new. And good luck on your challenge. You have until midnight tomorrow night to put a recruit in. Doesn't matter if it's your first or your 51st. Get a recruit in the next 24 hours and you will be given a Catalogs on board sticker. And then you can work the rest of this month, the next 2 weeks, to get them qualified so that they can earn their impressions set. But thank you guys so much for hopping on. Have a good night.